You're going to take notes on the order of operations. Now, the word operations, what do operations mean? In math, they mean addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, exponents, parentheses, brackets. That's what operations mean. So let's look at the question. Only one of these expressions uses the order of operations. Which one, and explain why you chose that one? Circle your answer. So look at between A and B. I selected B. Why? Because this expression has more than one operation. There's a minus, a subtraction, addition, and multiplication. The first one only has addition. Since it only has addition, you don't need the order of operations. But once there's more than one operation, then you need the order of operations. So B, I would need it. You can pause at any time to copy the information down. What are the steps to the order of operations? I like to write an order of operations triangle. Now, the triangle has 4 levels. The first level is only for the letter P. The second is only the letter E. The third is MD, and then the fourth is AS. Now, if you notice that the last two have more than one letter, so I put a star next to it. That reminds you that there's a certain order that you have to focus on. Now, let's start from step 1. Step 1 is parentheses. Now, I'm sure in elementary school you learned PEMDAS, but what I don't like about PEMDAS, if you just write it out, it doesn't show a breakdown of the order. So that's why I like to make this triangle. So feel free to use this triangle to help you. So P stands for parentheses, but that also means grouping symbols. What are grouping symbols? Parentheses, brackets, and fraction bar. And we're going to do an example involving a fraction bar. But brackets are similar to parentheses. You'll see brackets if there's already parentheses in the problem and there needs to be another. Step 2. So first you always look for parentheses or grouping symbol. Step 2 is look for an exponent. An exponent looks like a to the b power. Step 3, MD. It means multiplication or division. It depends on which one comes first from left to right. That's really important. Just because M comes first doesn't mean you do M first. It's whichever comes first from left to right. And the last step, AS, addition or subtraction from left to right. So whichever comes first from left to right. So let's look at the first example. Let me see if I can move this. All right, so if you look at the first example, I'm going to look at the triangle. I don't see parentheses, so I put an X there. I don't see exponent, so I put an X there. There's no multiplication division, also an X, and I put a check. There is addition, subtraction, but remember, the star means from left to right. So which one comes first? The subtraction comes first, from left to right. So I solved 24 minus 6, you get 18. And if you notice on the side, I also did 24 minus 6 here, just to make sure I got this right, 18. So I bring this down to 18, and then bring down the plus 4. What's 18 plus 4? 22. Since it's only addition, you no longer have to use order of operations. You just add. And feel free anytime to rewrite this problem and try to do it on your own. Let's look at example 2. Look at the triangle. Do you see parentheses or grouping symbols? No. Do you see exponent? Yes. So I circled 3 squared, and on the side I wrote 3 squared means 3 twice. 3 times 3 is 9. So I copied down 9 and brought everything down. I brought 5 times 9 plus 8 minus 2. Always bring everything down and go step by step. Now I look, there's no more exponents. Step 3, multiplication or division. I do see it. There is only multiplication, so 5 times 9 is 45. Then bring everything down. So move to the last step, add or subtract from left to right. This time from left to right, addition comes first. So I do 45 plus 8, and again, just show your work on the side so you don't make a careless mistake. 45 plus 8 is 53. 53 minus 2 is 51. Now let's look to the third example. Here's a third example. I do see parentheses. This parentheses would be 6 minus 5 is 1, and I brought everything down. Now, do you see the 4 parenthesis 1? Even though that's parentheses, it doesn't mean parentheses in order of operations. When you see parentheses in order of operations, it's only if you have to actually solve in the parentheses. So this parentheses really means multiplication. So if you notice, all I did is after I solved 6 minus 1 and 6 minus 5 to get 1, I brought everything down. And then I realized that that's really multiplication, so I brought everything down again. And then I look, there's no more parentheses. I don't see exponent. I do see multiplication division. Which one came first? 15 divided by 3. So I solved that one first. 15 divided by 3 is 5. And I brought down times 5 plus 4 minus 1. And now I multiplied 5 times 5 is 25 plus 4 times 1 is 4. So 25 plus 4 is 29. Again, I strongly recommend you try to do these on your own. So after we do the video, try to recopy it, see if you could do it without the answer key, and then go back and look at the answer. Step 4, example 4, I mean. So again, we'll look at parentheses. Now this one's a little different. The fraction bar is a grouping symbol. Because remember, if you look at the original notes, I have fraction bar is a grouping symbol right here. So P stands for parentheses or grouping symbol. Fraction bar is a grouping symbol. What that means is you have to solve the top and bottom separately. So what I did is, if you look here, I recopied everything on top over here, just the top. 10 squared minus 8 parentheses 9. And I made my own little triangle. And I looked in here, do I see parentheses? No. Again, that's not really parentheses. This means multiplication. Do I see exponent? Yes, so I saw that first. 10 to the second means 10 times 10, which is 100. If you remember the base 10 rules, the exponent tells how many zeros are in the answer. So 10 to the second, or 10 squared, is 100, minus 8 times 9. I did exponents. Do I see a multiplication? Yes. So I do 8 times 9 is 72, and then you just subtract 100 minus 72, and I did the work here. I borrowed. The 1 became a 0. This 0 became a 10. Then I borrowed for this one. This 10 becomes a 9. And this becomes a 10. 10 minus 2 is 8. 9 minus 7 is 2. And then we're done. So this 100 minus 72 is 28. And then that's it. Oh, so that's the top answer. The top answer is 28, so it's in pink. Now I solve the bottom. You have to solve it separately. What's 14 to 0? Remember, anything to 0 equals 1. So that means that the bottom equals 1. So what does 28 over 1 equal? It means 28 divided by 1, which is 28. So again, what I would like you to do is maybe try to redo some of these questions, see if you can do it. Once you feel comfortable, then the next thing I want you to do is you're going to log into iExcel. Try E6 first. E6 kind of guides you, and then move into E7 for the rest of the period. You're going to show your work here and circle if you got it right or wrong. If you're getting a lot of them wrong, make sure you call, ask me for questions or ask me for help. Make sure you post your notes.